Good morning, class. I'm greeting you. Good morning. How is the IA going? Especially the Eco Math and Applied Math IA. These two courses can humble you. They have. Except my course, Eco Growth. As for my course here, you don't respect it at all. You don't learn. All right, so for IA, for the Eco Growth class, I asked them to read this article for the IA. The article on gold. And there is a new branch of economics coming up called metanomics. And we are just using gold to represent the natural resource. We know how gold is important to the Ghanaian economy. It accounts for 68% of our total exports. And last time I told you that the value of gold can finance tertiary education in Ghana. And let's do some simple mathematics. Last year, we produced about 5.1 million ounces of gold. Even if we assume that in the year 2026, we are going to produce 5.1 million ounces of gold, you multiply by, take your phones and let's do the multiplication. You multiply by the 5,100 price of gold. So 5.1 million times 5,100, what do you get? Take your phones, not your alarm clocks, your phones. What do you get? 26,800. 26,010. Okay. 26,010. So it means that's about 26 billion, $26.1 billion. Multiply the figure by the exchange rate of 11. What do you get? In city terms, 286 billion Ghana cedis in 1 year. And the total revenue and grants for the year is 268. So the value of gold alone is more than the government's budget. Gold alone. It's the reason I always maintain the point that university education or tertiary education can be free in Ghana. Only gold. Only gold. And so we have to stress the conversation. I always make the point that God has given us every reason to be rich. We have given God every reason to be poor. But the narration will change from us, from our generation. We will change things. We'll keep talking about it until something changes. It's the reason we have in our midst CPS, Center for Policy Scrutiny. It's a think tank in Accra here, Kokomlemle. I happen to be the executive director. Won't you clap for me? Of PPO. So for CPS, a new think tank, we are really interested in the development of the nation. We do research and advocacy. One of our objectives is youth development. Youth development. And so anytime we come up with research findings like this, we want to share with the youth. We have been in existence for just about six months. We were established just last year, August. And we are trying to make waves in the country. We will change things. We are going to start the discussion, not debate, the discussion. Please have a seat. The discussion, beginning with my three friends, Japan, China, and Gisesta. And then whoever is ready, just normal class discussion. Don't be afraid. The camera will not kill you. Okay, don't be afraid. So we're just going to talk about the paper you read, gold and liquidity. In economics, when you hear liquidity, you're talking about money. So when you go to your room, flex them with that. You're a con student, don't say money, say liquidity. All right, so bring the microphone to our friend from Japan. I told him that he would be first to speak, so he came prepared. Okay, so let's go. You can either come here or sit wherever you are. We are fine.
Okay, good morning. I'm Seiru Miyake, coming from Japan. So I'm talking about the natural resource in Japan. So firstly, So Japan has really limited resource. So like natural resource such as oil, coal, the iron ore, and LNG, like gas. So that means like we are depending on the import from foreign country. So especially like mineral resource is really
Just a minute, come. Stand here rather. Here, so we can hear you. Yeah. But still use this one.
okay. So
Yeah.
especially mineral resource is really few. We don't provide a lot of the mineral resource, so we need to rely on the other countries.
Speaking to this
import,
as well.
import. Okay. Yes. So, but we have another natural resource, such as like the forest resource and ocean resource. So, about the forest resource, so roughly 70% of land is a forest resource in Japan. And so about the ocean marine resource, so Japan is ranking in the 6th position in the world in terms of the EEZ. So, and I can say like the most important resource in Japan is seabed resource. So currently we have Japan has succeeded to mine the seabed resource. So this is a really good possibility to development in Japan. And yes, so Japan has really limited resource, but we could develop. So that means like, so we had developed without the natural, without relying on natural resource. So instead, we invested to the human capital and technology. So today, Japan is importing natural resource to our country and as a raw material, and create the value through manufacturing. So this is a logic, the system of Japan. So how to handle the resource and the creating a value.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So he said Japan doesn't have much natural resources. They just depend. They depend on human capital development and technology. All right. So let me invite our friend from China to tell us more about the coconut issue and any other minerals that we want. She's always told me, please come. Don't be shy. She's always told me that, her English is not good. I tell her that, no, don't worry. Just try your best. That's why I want to speak into the microphone, because of the English. It is not too clear, but she will try. Just pay attention, you'll get it. Okay, let's clap and welcome her.
Hello. Hello, my name is Leah. I come from China. But maybe my English is not too good, so I try speak the IA of the economic 215. China relevant express for Ghana's economic development. China's expresses in resource deployment and industry growth often important reference for Ghana to leverage natural resource for economic development. It can be summarized into two core: learning shape and easy to follow for example, the coconut. In China, we somebody we like the drink and the milk. Maybe in Ghana we can let the milk and cocoa is mixed to make a snake that enjoy to eat, and when we sell the snake, it is expensive that we can get more the money. And last year I vacation to Hainan. The improvement in China. In Hainan, I think the Hainan is very like the Ghana. In is have to sing and the coconut and seafood, because seafood in any other place in China it is expensive, but in Ghana and the Hainan it is cheap, that we can share the food for any other country to get more money. And the pier in Hainan it is very cheap, maybe about 200 cities. It is cheap than any other place. And it made in the thing. I think in the Ghana can learn the technology. We can make some pier in Ghana, then we can to share to any other person, because there are too much the size in Ghana. And this one, if to any other place, it is expensive. Maybe in any other place is 1,000, 2,000, but maybe in Ghana and the Hainan, it is very cheap. Then we can to share it, get more money.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, thank you. And if someone to her, but just still clap for her. Yeah, so I heard snake. My madam, snake in the snack. But snake, snake says a snack in our a lot of seafood, coconut, milk. And I think the point she stressed was that it's cheaper here in Ghana, like another city in China. And so we could take advantage and export it because it's cheap here. When we export it, the foreign countries will find it cheap and they'll buy our produce for us. We have fish in abundance and other things in abundance. I think that's good. Thank you. You know, for her IA, she wrote it in Chinese and translated it into English before I could mark it for her. So thank you. So now we are back home. Any Nigerian here, they will not even mind. Yeah, I know we have Sierra Leone. Yes. Where is Mercy's? Mercy's, are you ready? Mercy's, where is she? I saw her. Are you ready? No? Okay, but you are still developing your point. All right, so when you are ready, Mercy is from Sierra Leone. I always want to engage. Cassandra, do you want to come here? Just sister, sorry. You want to come here? You want to come? Please come. Okay. So after her, whoever is ready, if you want to come here, fine. If you want to sit there, fine. I think 5 minutes per person is fine. Don't speak too much. Just make your point snappy, and we are good to go. Because my laptop is here, you put your own down here. Your own cannot. No, just from here. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's speak into the microphone so
Okay.
we can hear you. All right.
Okay, so I would first, sorry, my name is Disesta Opoku-Omari. I'm in level 400. And I would want to talk about Ghana's economic context and then some assets that we have in Ghana here. And then I'll proceed to talk more about why I think Ghana is rich in gold but poor in liquidity. So about Ghana's economy, Ghana is heavily reliant on key exports like gold and then cocoa. Also, most of these exports are also exported in raw forms. So the earnings that we get on these exports cannot be compared to when we add value to these exports. Also, Ghana faces significant challenges like high inflation, currency instability, and then high debt problems. But we can identify some assets in Ghana here that can be of great value when we manage our natural resources or these assets well. For instance, we have gold, we have cocoa, we have forest and timber capital. We also have informal productive capital or, human resources. So I'll move on to talk about my view on why Ghana is rich in gold but poor in liquidity.
Okay.
So one is the informal gold economy leakage. So most of our mining industries are small scale miners, or what we will refer to as the galamsees or galamsey in Ghana here. And most of these industries don't even have the license. So all the wealth that they make do not go through our banking system to create revenue or to create a credit making process. So most of the wealth that we make or we earn on gold is less than what those receiving the cocoa outside the country get. There are more than enough cocoa outside the country more Ghanaian gold outside the country than what the country has recorded. And this is due to the small scale mining, because they smuggle some of these they even smuggle cocoa and then gold outside the country, but the revenue or the wealth doesn't pass through our banking system to be recorded. And then also the gold extraction creates enclave economies. So most of our mining industries are found in closed spaces, such that the revenue that they create over there is no value chain. So assuming the gold is mined in this class, it is only other economic activities that benefit, but the country as a whole mostly do not benefit from the wealth or the earnings from the gold, because we don't add value to our gold or our natural resources in Ghana here. And then also most of the raw materials that we use in this production or the mining of our resources, we import those materials and then tools. So we don't earn much on what we have, but outsiders do earn much on all these natural resources. So the last point that I would want to talk about is gold as a dormant asset rather than a financial asset. So most of our golds are found in geographical or physical forms underground, and we don't really see how worth it is or the value of these goods in our financial market. So I have some suggested solutions to these problems, and the first one is formalizing the small scale mining. So when we formalize this small scale mining, we give them license to operate. So the wealth or the income from this gold will be recorded, and the wealth can be channeled through our banking system to create liquidity in the system. And then also to solve the problem of gold extraction, creates enclave economies. The government can promote local value chain integration such that we can process our natural resources in the country. So maybe we move our goods from where it is being extracted to a different location. There is an industry over there who will process our natural resources into finished or semi-finished goods, and this is going to create employment and then also generate revenue for the country. Also, when our goods or our resources are processed into finished or semi-finished goods, it earns much more than exporting them in raw forms. Also, to solve the third problem, Ghana could develop a gold-backed financial instrument such as gold-backed bonds, and then also gold saving accounts. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay, so the floor is open. Let's go. Do you want to come? Okay, please come. so that your parents can see your face very well. Is it that some of you've not told your parents that you are reaching a council, you're not in your university, so when they see you, they'll be surprised. They'll be surprised. Or maybe they don't know you are this brilliant, so when they see you, they'll be surprised. Anyway, let's go.
My name is Edith Dedetete, and I'm in level 200. So I want to talk on rich in gold, poor in liquidity. As always, Dr. Sarkodie will say, the only way Ghana, or Africa, Ghana to be precise, can be rich is when we leverage on our raw materials, because that's what we have abundant in the country. Sure. And to talk of gold, from the resources we have, we could realize that gold is one of the resources that give the country a lot of money. And as my sister just finished, she just finished saying that when we are able to recycle, when we are able to add values to these natural resources, that is the gold, it's going to fetch Ghana a lot more money in order for us to increase our liquidity. And also to talk of the gold reserves, as at last year, our gold reserve was up to 30, I think 36 or 38, if I'm not mistaken, 38. But currently this year, as of December 2025, you can see that it has reduced drastically to 18.6 tons. And for us, in order for us to increase the liquidity on gold, we need to get more gold reserve. That's the government purchasing the goods from this galamseyers or these small scale miners in order for us to keep some of the golds with us. So that's what I'll talk about. If for Ghana to increase our liquidity, we need to invest much in our gold reserves, because comparing Ghana to countries like Nigeria and Botswana, we can see that they've invested much in their gold reserve, of which they are getting a lot more money from it. And also, in addition, if we want to get more liquidity in the country, we need to own more than 50% of the extraction and everything that constitutes with this gold mining, because we've given everything to the foreigners. So when they search for this gold, the country Ghana, we only gain the royalties from them. But looking at Botswana, they own more than 50% of what is being extracted. So after extracting, they give the gold it remains in Botswana and other countries, and just the country pay the instructors or the expertise who come into this mine the gold. So if we want to increase our liquidity, first thing that I'll say is that we should invest in our gold reserve. 2, we should add values to the exported goods. And 3, we should own more than half or more than 50% of our gold extraction. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's good. So now I know the country is in safe hands. We have future economists, future politicians, future lecturers, future what? Fetish priests. Future pastors, those who God will call, those who call God. Not armed robbers. This will not happen. Anybody? Yes? Ready to speak? Yes. Let's take the microphone. You want to come? That's good. Wow, I like that. She wants to come here. I like that. I think I should stand here and give you people. So far, it's only the ladies. She said, "Remember, dear, betting, all right."
To start with, I want to tell everybody that I have never done this before. So if you find me trembling in my voice, it's allowed.
Let's take your time. Take a deep breath. Public speaking is not easy. It's not. Look at the faces here. I bet you've fallen so far. So just relax. You'll be fine. Okay. All right. Let's go.
I think at this point, everyone over here would. Let me start again.
Yeah.
I think I like at this point, everyone over here would agree with me. Hey,
Let's go and sit down. Let's sit down. Okay, you sit. Just sit. Can you pick a? Yes, talk to us. Talk to me. Talk to only me.
everyone would agree.
People are
Everyone, everyone would agree with me that like
Let's go. Talk to me.
everyone would agree with me that our situation here is not lack of wealth because Ghana has gold in abundance.
Yeah.
So Sir gave us our eye, and I was
Look at
trying
me.
to
Talk
do
me.
a
Only me.
brief research on this topic or like this brief, and I found out that our own Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, has mentioned this before. So I asked myself that why are we not aware? He mentioned this in a topic he talked about. The title was "We are rich in gold, but poor in liquidity," similar to the case we are talking about. And I think this paradox we are discussing here is only enlightening on the 21st century. So I would like to touch on a key point that I think everyone has overlooked is our accounting problem. I think Africans need to find solutions to our own problem because we keep going by the normalized problem we are used to. Because as it stands now, I think someone already mentioned that we have more gold in the ground, but since it's not accounted for, we think we are poor. And this system also pushes us to go and or sometimes we export our raw materials and we import liquidity in form of debts. And we keep going back to the IMF. So I think that the key points or key solution raised in the paradox about using the ABNA solution
It's the accounting system.
is very vital. And I would lastly like to end on a Kwame Nkrumah quote that independence is only the prelude to a new and more involved struggle for the right to conduct our own economic and social affairs.
Thank you.
So I think we should all look into the main problem rather than looking outward. And if you're able to identify the main problem, all other factors will follow suit. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you. I understand some of you want to ask questions, but yeah, we will take all your questions. If it's difficult, I'll not mind. Okay. You want to stand here? That's fine.
Hi, my name is Prosper Dushi. I'm a level 200 student. Okay. It's true that Ghana is very rich in gold, and we are struggling with our economy, our currency stability, and employment, inflation, and many other things, macroeconomic challenges. Growing up, I've been hearing that when you have gold, you are very rich. And I always dream that when I go out, I should get gold on the floor because I believe that with gold, I'll be rich. For a whole country to have gold in abundance, and with just what I've been hearing from our elderly people, I think Ghana should be better off from our independence to now. If we should have leveraged on our natural resources, precisely gold, Ghana should have been better off, should be a very nice country that we all will feel happy to be in. One thing that I will stress on, if we are trying to say that Ghana should leverage on her natural resources so that we get the best out of it, is our governance system. Yes, we can state all the factors, but these factors must be piloted by individuals, ministerial, like individuals, leaders that will be in these ministerial positions to implement these ideas that we are bringing on board. But if these leaders lack the competency, lack the skills, that lack the knowledge in the field of whatever that we are saying, the solutions we are providing, then everything we are saying is just to waste. So the leaders of the institutions should be intentional about the growth of the country. They should take the growth of the country, and before they make any policy, they need to come to the grounds, get the problems, know that the country is facing this problem, then they draft their policies accordingly, not to use their manifestos and just be more focused on their manifestos, leaving the other more pressing matters that are facing the economy. Like the Women's Bank, for example, is good, but we have more other pressing things in the economy that they can do aside the Women's Bank. But since it's part of their manifesto, they are creating funds, allocating money in the budget for that. And also, Ghana has been with the IMF 18 good times, and we'll be leaving the IMF program very soon. The question is, what's next? So if we can our leaders can come together to exhibit the competency that they can, and to revise our contract on our natural resources and get the best out of it, I think Ghana will never go to the IMF again, and the country will be better off. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Mrs., are you ready? You want to know the experience in Sierra Leone. So if you're ready, just walk here, or we should come there. We should come there. Okay, Manasseh, take the microphone too. You want to come? Yeah, Mrs., you know Sierra Leone has abundant diamond.
Yes.
And last, you were telling me that the galamsey is also happening in Sierra Leone.
Yes, please.
Except that it's only about diamond. Ghana only is about gold. So let's go.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mercies, and as Doc said, I'm from Sierra Leone, and I'm in level 300. As Ghana, your main export is in mineral is gold. Ours is diamond and iron ore and bauxite. Those are the three leading mineral exportation that we earn revenue from. Just as Doc mentioned, we are having a huge challenge with environmental degradation because of the extensive mining of diamond and bauxite. So that has caused a lot of environmental implications and health problems. Just as also you are complaining about how you are rich in resources and it's not evaluated or affecting the liquidity of the economy, is the same thing back also in Sierra Leone. So those are similarities because we are also dependent on our primary commodities for revenue. And so whenever there is a fall in the price in the global market, it affects us immensely. So some of the policies that were mentioned in the article, such as the ARE and the ABNA, talking about, one of them talking about the ARE, talking about how it would be necessary to have some of our resources as a reserve, so that whenever there is a fall, maybe an inflation or deflation, the actual stock reservation or reserve that it will be in the central bank can be converted or liquidized to help run or buffer the difficulties. So basically, I feel the strategies advised in the article, if it is being implemented here as well as in Sierra Leone, it might go a long way in the development of both nations. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You know, Mrs., I've already prophesied that you are the next finance minister of Sierra Leone. Last, would you say amen here? Last, I met the former finance minister of Liberia in Abuja, and he told me that he schooled here. In University of Ghana, we are producing, not the other university, University of Ghana, Command Legon. Yeah. Okay. Yes. There was, okay, 2 hands here, 1, 2. Was there a hand here? 3, 4. Okay, can you pick them? Put up your hand so that they can pick you. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take this 4, and then we take another set. So, but you are close to him, so you can start. Yeah. Yes. And then we go to our friends here. If you are willing to come here, we will welcome you. You know, you want to come? Let's come and keep me company. I'm here with you. All right. You've worn your nice African wear so that your parents will see. Okay.
I'm Hazel Manas Iso. So I'm going to speak about why Ghana's liquidity is poor. Ghana's liquidity is poor because of the measurement. How Ghana's liquidity is measured. We focus on the GDP. It's measured based on only inflows and outflows, but Ghana has assets in which is not included in the GDP. So if you're able to include our assets, it's going to increase our GDP. So as Prof said, he said some items like unpaid care and domestic work, informal undercounts and indigenous knowledge systems are not included in the normal accounting measurement. So if you are to include this in the normal accounting measurement, it's going to increase our GDP by 21%. So if our GDP is to increase by 21%, you see our overall, maybe if you're comparing our debt to GDP, it's going to increase, it's going to improve. So it means you're able to cater for our debts more, unlike the normal accounting principles, which undermines or understates our GDP. So my second point, I'm going to focus on gold, of which I think my colleagues have spoken enough about it. So gold, for instance, the illegal miners, use the right ways to sell our gold. So we are not able to account for the receipts or the earnings from the gold. So I think the recent government established gold board where it encourages illegal miners to bring their gold so that it can be sent to the international market. So this is able to keep record of the goods that is imported or exported out. It's able to keep check of the gold that is mined in the country. And so I think from last year, our gold earnings increased to 20 billion as compared to 2024. 2024 was around 10 billion. So you could see that there is an improvement in our gold due to the gold board.
$20 billion.
Yeah, $20 billion. Yeah. Exactly. So it's buttress Dr. Sarkodie's points that tertiary education can be free. So that's basically what I'm going to talk about. And this summarizes literally everything in the article. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. There were 3 hands on this side. If you want to come. If you want to sit there, that's fine. We will still capture you, no matter where you are sitting. Even on the ceiling, we'll capture you. Yeah. You want to come? Okay. And then I think there's 2 guys in the white, yeah, and our lady here, yeah. We'll capture everybody. Don't worry. When that was a bab.
Okay, so I'm Michael Philip Hudson, level 200 students. Okay, so this problem of Ghana being rich in gold and poor in liquidity is just simple. Ghana as a country, we don't have systems that trace our gold. We produce a lot, but at the end of the day, we don't know where the gold passed through. So one solution I can give to this problem is that the government of Ghana can issue a blockchain traceability system where every gold that is mined from the mining sector to the market is traced so that it could be taxed in order for the money to be reserved in the country. That's the first thing. So they should produce a system whereby it will trace every gram of gold that is being produced in the country so that per every gram of gold that is being produced, it will be taxed so that more revenue, more liquidity will be sustained in the country. Secondly, the reason why Ghana produces more gold and there is less liquidity is that it's as a result of leakages. mostly there are a lot of smugglers who smuggle the good outside the country. So in solving or combating this issue, the government of Ghana can, through the gold board, should be the sole buyer of gold from these small-scale miners or whoever produces the gold in Ghana. For this to be very attractive to them, they should buy them at the market price, not at the interbank price. So this is the reason why the IMF said that the government incurred losses, because the accounting costs see that the price of the gold is measured in the interbank exchange rate, but that wasn't so. The gold purchasing program was done using the market price. If that is not done, it won't be attractive to these small scale miners for them
The black market.
yes, the black market buyers, for them to sell their gold to the government. So this can be another way for we to retain our money in the country. So the government of Ghana should be through the gold board, should be the sole buyer of gold, so that it will attract the smugglers to rather sell their gold to the government. Yes. So, and also lastly, the government should have more ownership. In Ghana here, most of these mining firms are foreigners, they are from foreign countries. That's the New Mountain and all that. So because Ghana doesn't have much of the machineries and all those things to mine the gold and all that, so it can use this royalty system, a progressive royalty system, whereby they increase the rate, because you are using our land and it's our gold. So for you to mine in our country, you have to pay us in a form of royalty. So currently it's at 5%, but the current government is trying to increase it to 12%, where there's this pressure from these superpowers, China, USA.
We will not mind it.
So Ghana should use this system, because we have to get ownership. So we should increase the royalty we charge them, so that more revenue will be sustained in the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I understand why the media was calling me since yesterday. The royalty issue has come. I'll get time for them. I support the government 100%. It should even be more. We should increase it to 12%. It's been 5%. In fact, it was 3% up to 2011. Can you imagine? 3%. Then after 2011, it increased to 5%. We have our gold, and you say what? We are the #1 producer of gold in Africa, #6 in the whole world. We will increase the royalties, because you will not find it anywhere. It is here that you will find it. We will increase it. Very soon we'll take over. The gold will belong to Ghana. Amen. Amen. I'm getting carried away. You know that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Abusa Justice is my name, and I'm a level 200 student. What I'm about to say might a bit differ from what we are doing, which is the rich in gold, poor in liquidity, because I'm going to talk a bit about something relating to agriculture, agribusiness.
It's fine. Yes, that's good.
Okay. I schooled in Pandu as in SHS, and when going to school, we travel by land. When you travel by land from here to Pandu, you get to see that Ghana, we have vast land that is just lying there, not in use. We have drainage, let me say resources, like the Lake Fota, that is big, that is not in use. We just contracted this thing, bridges on it that car used to pass. That's all. What I'm about to say is that Ghana, when we take a look at how the cause of Accra's congestion, a lot of people from the rural areas are here just looking for white-collar jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They're just here looking for white-collar jobs. They are not ready to put in much effort, work in their areas or the rural areas to produce something. They are here looking for white-collar jobs. I want to be in office to work, and I'll get paid at the end of the month. That's what almost all of us in Accra here are doing. Whilst our background or where we come from is just there, not in use. So what I'm about to say is that Ghana, as we know that the gold that we are extracting right now, we do get some, let me say, some revenue from it. So I have a question, why don't we invest in the agriculture sector, where we make use of the resources we have, such as the lake water, which is not in use, in irrigation farming. When you go to the north, they produce yam. That was last year. We traveled to the north. There was a farmer that the yam that he harvested was left, and everything got destroyed, everything was spoiled. Because there was no buyer, there was nobody to buy, or even the transportation means to the farm is not good. That is rude. But we will just be on, let me say, excuse me to say this, some of our ministers or some of our leaders will just come on TV and be mentioning figures for us that they've used it for this thing, they have used it for this thing. But we are not seeing the actual thing on the ground. We are not seeing the actual thing on the ground. So Ghana being poor is not because we are extracting, let me put it this way, we are not holding 50% or more than half of our gold reserves, or we are exporting more than what we are supposed to keep. It's because of our mentality. It's because of our mentality. If everybody, let me put this, I'm a Votarian. When you go to every community in Accra here, you will see a Votarian.
Even in this class,
You will see a Votarian. But when you go to Vota, even traveling from here by land to Vota, starting from Ada, you will see that there are lands over there, vast lands, that are not even in use, where we can grow crops, process them, add value to them. In this crop, we have high taste for foreign goods, Ghanaians. We import a lot. So why can't we also make use of our lands, produce, process them, add value to them, and also export, which also again is also NS foreign exchange. But all we want is just want to be in office, in air conditioner, work for 1 month, and we'll get paid. That's what we want. We don't want to work with our hands. We don't want to go to the land, till the land, let me put it this way, till the land, grow crops, harvest, process them, add value to them, and sell. We don't want to do that. Most of us in this room right now, we're learning. At the end of the day, we all want to be in office. You all want to be in office. Yes, we all want to be. You don't want to be an entrepreneur. You don't want to do business. You don't want to do business. But that is what can help us as a country. We have the land. We have rivers. We have lakes that we can use for irrigation system. So the country or our leaders should focus more on, or should also help us in producing good agricultural produce that we can also process, add value to them, and export.
Okay.
This will help us as a country. Thank you very much.
That's good. Earlier on, I told you that the discussion will go beyond gold. So, any natural, the guy in tie. All right, Mr. Tai. Okay. Allah, what's it?
Hi, everyone. Please, my name is Isaac. I'm a currently level 200 student. And concerned about what we are discussing, which is Ghana is rich in gold, but what? Poor in liquidity. I wanted to make mention of what our colleague from China made mention. That is, they have less natural resources, so they try to import natural or raw materials from different countries to add value to it. Now, my question is, sometimes you used to wonder, maybe somebody owns a car and maybe buy a commercial car to somebody to use it. In less than 3 years, the person who is using the car for commercial purposes has built the house, but yet the one who owns the car is still struggling to even pay his rent. You ask yourself why. The one who owns the property still is finding it difficult to even pay a rent, but the person who is using the car has even built the house. The same applies to our natural resources. We have the natural resources, but those who is even adding value to our natural resources has become better off than us. Now, historically, talking about China, in 1960s, our GDP was way better than them. But now, currently, they are having almost 18.6 trillion of dollars. But Ghana, we are having what? 82 point something billion dollars of what? Our GDP. Now, that implies about how we don't add value to what? Our natural resources. So I think adding value to our natural resources can what? Help Ghana to what? Grow. Now, with the gold something, I wanted to make mention of leading to agriculture. Now, sometimes in economics, we used to talk about trade-off or opportunity cost. Talking about the gold, if you try to what? Rely on gold, or maybe trying to extract more gold to make our country better off, we talks about what will happen to what? Cocoa. But once you are trying to extract more gold, the mining sector will expand. Illegal mining will also what? Expand, which will also lead to them cutting down of trees, destroying what? The environment that we have. Now, way back in last 3 or 2 years, Ghana, you can see that we have declined in what? Producing of what? Cocoa. Why? The case is most of our farmers have seen it that, oh, they can get much money from what? Giving their land or their cocoa farms what? To the gold miners. So now they are not producing cocoa anymore because of what? They think they get money from what? They get more money from what? The gold. So when we channel our attention more of what? Extracting gold, it turns that we are declining what? Producing of what? Cocoa. So we have to have a strategic way of what? Merging all these two together in order to what? Maximize our profit. Thank you.
Thank you. No. Thank you very much. Let's be snappy so that your friends can also make contribution. Maybe we should reduce the time from 5 to 2 minutes. Who is the timekeeper? Nobody should go beyond 2 minutes. All right.
Okay, thank you. My name is Fafali. I'm in level 200. I'd like to add to my point aligns with some points already.
So that they can still hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
My point
There's 2 microphones.
Okay. Aligns with some points already raised by Japanese here and the guy from Butauje scheme. So it's the human capital should receive education and training aligned with the skills needed in the future job market. For example, the president is taking steps to move from the exportation of raw materials to the exportation of finished and semi-finished goods. And if this is the case, then the country should focus on training its citizens in adding of value to raw materials. After a research, it was reviewed by the founder and CEO of DTI, Constance Swatnika, that there were stark gaps that showed that about 80% of graduates find work aligned with their training, while about 80% of the workforce remains in the informal sector, while only 30% of the graduates find work aligned with their training. So that's why you find a degree holder who is a wholesaler. So currently, we have discovered lithium in the country, and the Ewoya, that's a lithium project in Ghana, has the potential to create jobs and boost the Ghanaian economy. However, if Ghanaian citizens are not adequately trained or employed in skilled roles, there's a high chance that most of the high-paying and technical positions will go to foreign workers from companies like Atlantic Lithium, and that's an Australian company, or Piedmont Lithium, and that's a US company. And because they will have the skills needed. So that's like Australians and then Americans, because they've trained their people. And then currently, many of the biggest mines in Ghana are operated by foreign multinational companies. Now that's why the government of Ghana was facing opposition from some countries like China and US, when they plan to increase the royalty on gold and other resources. They plan to increase it because gold is in high demand, but then they were facing opposition. Okay. So without adequate,
Yeah, just telling me that it's time. That's
okay. So without adequate human...
Just wrap up.
I'm wrapping up. So without adequate human capital development, foreign ownership of resource extraction could lead to significant leakage of wealth, and that would reduce the multiplier effects on Ghana's economy. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So my
My friend from Accra, the Labadi girl, Gan, she said she wants to be the timekeeper. Just Lord is also a timekeeper. We have 3 timekeepers, so 2 minutes each. Let me call on our lady here. Yes, you want to stand? That's fine. Just give it to her. From there, we go to the gentleman over there, and then we come to Daniel. Then we go to the back. All right? Forgive me. Ivy is here. Right. So here. So 2 minutes. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Sylvia. I'm a level 300 student. I think I want to believe that the only reason we are still poor as a country has to do with the political parties here. Because most of our assets, be it gold, cocoa, agriculture, diamond, but whichever one we have has been politically divided. So they come on to tell us that this is what they are going to do with what we have. Given a reference with what he said, they don't have these natural resources, but they have made do with their human capital. And now they are more developed than we are. We that have everything that we can to develop our own selves, we don't, because the political party, the political leaders have taken every possible ounce of money that comes from every asset we have in this country. So as soon as they sniff money in any assets in the country, they just divide it politically. So you can, one party will come, oh, I'll increase the the price of cocoa for farmers. This one will come, oh, I'll decrease it. When gold comes in, oh, we are using gold for this. This one too will come, oh, we are using gold for that. But we do not in reality, we do not see the works of these assets inside the country. So I believe that the reason we are still poor has to do with our politics. Thank you.
They are playing with our emotions. One day, give it to the gentleman at the back there. And then we'll go to Daniel and Ivory.
Follow.
Then we'll get to you. Yeah, no, this one.
Okay, please, I'm Francis, level 400. So, mine, I think the rich in gold and poor liquidity has been exhausted. So, I will stress on environmental externalities that brings about extracting of gold.
We cannot hear you.
So, I'm saying my point is on the environmental externalities that are brought about due to the gold extraction. I think we are all proud that Ghana is the leading producer of gold in Africa and the seat in the world. But we are doing this at the expense of our water bodies and our land. And even as my colleague said, our cocoa trees, because as you can see significantly, our cocoa exports has dropped since last year. And then it's due that some farmers are cutting down their trees and then selling their lands to these galamseyers. There hasn't been any policy from the government saying maybe let's correlate these galamseyers maybe in this region and then find a way and license them so that they can mine properly, educate them. But we've let them and then they are doing their mining anyhow, extracting gold left, right, center, and then even our youth are now leaving schools, finding money in the forest and then doing whatever they like. So I think we are doing all these at the expense of our land. And then we should also pay critical attention to our lands and our water bodies. As you can see that our waters are being poisoned by mercury and cyanide. And then we shouldn't just leave it be. Thank you.
Yeah, the environmental impacts. Thank you. Let's come to Daniel. Give it to the gentleman here. And then we'll go to Ivy. We go to, yeah. Everybody will speak, don't worry. Even if it's 5 seconds, I will make sure that you speak.
Hello.
That you'll be captured on TV.
Please, my name is Daniel, a level 300 student. Where I want to focus is the topic has a portion which is poor in liquidity. Here, what we need to understand is the definition of liquidity, because liquidity is when a country finds it very difficult to convert its assets into cash immediately without losing its value. So here, I know that gold is only recognized in our accounts when it is being taxed and exported. So if we are not recognizing gold as our asset, then we are going to get less money to finance our economy. And again, since I'm an accounting student, I want to elaborate on this. When we take an international accounting standard 40, it talks about inventory property. It mainly focuses on the portion of our inventory, that's assets, that we rent out and the revenues that we obtain. When we are not recognizing gold as our assets, how are we able to get funds to finance our economy? And also, I want to still elaborate that Ghana is not poor, but the measures that we need to put in place will help us to finance the economy. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Ivy. And then from there, yeah, a lady in red, then we go to the back. Okay, we'll take the lady in red and we'll go to the back. Yes.
My name is Ivy Akuyaira. So we are talking about rich in gold and poor in liquidity. It's funny how a country that is rich in gold is poor in liquidity, because growing up, if you hear that somebody has gold, it means that you have everything, including cash, right? So, I mean, the solution that I think is just to encourage local participation in mining. Because when you increase Ghanaian ownership and partnership in the mining sector, it will ensure more profits. It will make more profits stay in the country rather than outside. Do you understand? Because like if there is partnership between private people that are capable with the government, and I also agree with her, because the main problem is the government, because they are not managing it well. When you have something in abundance and you don't manage it, it's equal to not having it at all. So our solution is not just having gold, but managing the gold effectively to increase our financial system and then foreign reserves. Thank you.
Thank you. That's excellent. Where's the gentleman? Okay, take me to the lady in red, and then we go to the gentleman sitting by him, and we go to the back there. Yeah. Inshallah, what have you chosen your seat? You become quite how?
Hello everyone, I'm Phoebe Ansa. So what I want to talk about is what can Ghana do, like long-term development or long-term planning. So over the years, Ghana just thinks short-term, like what can I do within my tenure of office to help Ghana? After that, that's all. And then the next president is thinking of what to do to get votes for his next term. We don't really think long-term, or we are not ready to bear the sacrifices of planning long-term. Let's take Norway, for instance. They are into oil mining, right? Most of the revenue they make from mining oil is saved in government pension fund global. Yeah, so it's estimated around $1 trillion as at now, and that is not touched. It's usually not touched, so it's saved for serious emergencies, state emergencies, where they have to service debt and other stuff. But and also Zimbabwe makes use of in situ resources as collateral for
loans.
For loans, yes. So if Ghana is able to think in that direction, to be able to develop its gold, and also it can help us service most of our loans, like pay most of our debts, and also plan long term. Do you get?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Well, give it to the gentleman over here. And we go to India. Yes.
Well, thank you. My name is Joshua Monka, level 300 student. So my friends have said more, and I want to add just a little. So I believe that as country, we should be able to process our gold here. That will add more value to it. So I happen to be at the gold field, and what happened there is those foreigners just enter, then there will be illegal. They will illegally come for the gold, exchanging with money. But we should not forget that this money is just nominal, and gold is non-renewable resources. So if we give our gold to them, then at the end of the day, we just give them everything, then take the money, which is nominal, and we can't do anything with it. The second thing I want to talk about, looking at the gold companies, Angry Gold, for example, they have a branch at Obuasi, but the royalties that as a country we benefit from it is very, very less as compared to Johannesburg in South Africa. So I believe that previously, the royalties countries as Ghana, we benefit from Angry Gold is 5%. And the government is trying to raise it from 9 to 12, which is not enough, because the gold is for us, and if you are mining here, I believe that we should benefit more from it. When you go to Obuasi, the state there, you cannot compare that to the angry gold sites at Johannesburg. When you go to Johannesburg, you see a lot of improvements. You see a lot of roads, good drinkable water, then stuff. As compared to Obuasi, when you go to Obuasi, the state there, people are suffering from traumas, all because of this blasting and stuff. So I think as a country, we should process our gold here and add more value to the gold and also the royalties. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We'll take Insra, and then we'll come back to just Lord and our lady here. Then, oh, yeah, the gentleman at the back. Sorry. The two gentlemen at the back. After Insra, then you can. You want to come here? That's fine. You can come. Please, no, bring the microphone. You want to come? You want to come? Okay, that's fine. Come and sit close so that snappy, huh? Now we are reducing the time to 1 minute.
Okay, so good morning. So on this topic, I would like to just put in 3 points. And
take the microphone to your mouth.
First of all, I would like to say it's about the mindset of the individual. When we look at Ghana, we have 2 sectors of schooling, which is the vocational, then the normal schooling. How many of you would like to go into the vocational school? Almost none of you. So I think what the government is to do is to get a set of people, let them undergo this training, so that, because we don't have the resources, we don't have the I'll call it the equipment to mine this gold. Because most of the time we depend on the foreign people, because if we are to go down there, which machine are we going with? We don't have any machine to go down there to mine this gold. We just depend, they'll bring it, and if they bring it, they'll tell you that, oh, after you using my machine, you pay like this. You can't talk because you don't have the machine. Do you get what I'm saying? Secondly, I'll talk about the value. We don't have machines to process this gold to be a fine gold. All what we do is to just mine it, sell it, then they'll bring us what they think they want to give to us. Well, we don't have the machines to process this gold to be a fine gold. So basically, that's what.
Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon. Ghana is rich in gold, but liquidity, we are limited. So the gap between these 2 realities is what we are here to talk about. I won't speak much, but then I will talk about the metanomics by Dr. Liquidity. We state that one of the reasons why our liquidity is not stable as a country is because of the inequality in the national income measurement. All right. So he stated that Ghana, we are a rich country, but then with a locked door. And the key to these doors are what? They are missing. Okay? And then we go out there begging for money. Meanwhile, we've lost the key to what? Our balance sheet. So what we need to do as a country is to review our national income measurement so that we can record accurately not just the values that leaves the shore of the country, but then we can measure the values of the good in the country so that we can stabilize our financial, or we can stabilize our financial situations. All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. The bitter truth is that Ghana is rich in gold, but poor in liquidity. Okay. So I just want to make something clear here, which is we have all agreed vehemently that Ghana, the ultimate way for us to harness our natural resources is value addition before exporting them. But I also want to state it unequivocally clear that we can do this by certain permanent but formidable ways of harnessing this gold and our natural resources. We can't continue to do it. A particular government will come and promise that if I come into power, I will stop Galamsey, only for the government to come and still Galamsey will be ongoing. But we can do this by bringing all agencies to set a laid down ways of how gold should be sold, bought, or mined, which, regardless of the government that will come into power, will rely on these fundamentals for our natural resources. Other than that, these people will continue to joke with us. So my solution, and the ultimate solution I think that would go a long way for us, is that reliable agencies should come together and set a ways of how gold specifically should be mined, sold, or bought. Thank you.
Thank you. After Just Lord, we go to our lady here, and then the two gentlemen over here. All right. There's a man who's here, dear. And those on the last row, diaspora.
I'm in the person of Just Lord now, Ablo. So I'm speaking about the contradictory side about the measurement of our gold reserves, and then how it appears on paper that we are actually poor because GDP just measures our inflows.
That's fine.
Okay, GDP just measures our inflows and then does not necessarily include the gold reserves we have. So while the paper makes a strong argument that Ghana may appear poorer because economic measurements focus mainly on inflows, such as GDP, I think it is also important to consider the limitations of this approach. For example, including assets such as gold reserves in national accounts may give a better picture of a country's wealth. However, gold that is still underground is not immediately liquid, is it? Exactly. It must first be extracted, refined, and sold before it can generate usable revenue. This raises an important question about the dynamic limits of asset-based accounting, which was in the paper or the article. Even if Ghana has large gold reserves, those resources cannot always be converted quickly into financial resources during a crisis, can they? No. So the key issue becomes not only how we measure national wealth, but also how we distinguish between our long-term assets and short-term liquidity. So in other words, the long and short of what I'm saying is, while expanding our accounting framework and showing that Ghana is wealthier than it appears, we must also still address the practical challenge of turning those assets into accessible financial resources when they are needed. So perhaps the real challenge is not just measuring our wealth differently, but designing institutions that can convert resource wealth into reliable liquidity when the economy needs it. So I think all boils down to our structure. Now, if we have an education system whereby it's able to train it's able to train us to improve our technical know-how, we'll be able to put structures in place so that individuals such as myself and you will be able to convert the lithium or other natural resources as into liquid form, so that in times of economic crisis, instead of us and to the INA, we are able to go to our reserves and tap into it to be able to solve whatever crisis and whatever problem we are facing. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Nice respect. Thank you. So we have, okay, what's the guy to pass the microphone? Okay, I'm going to give it to the lady over there. She said she doesn't want to come here, so that's fine. We had made all kinds of strategies. Yeah. Just less than 20 minutes, then we are gone. Yes. So snappy, so that everybody can speak. Yes.
Hi, good morning. My name is Chelsea, and I'm a level 300 student studying economic growth and development.
Speak into the mic.
Economic growth and development. Can you hear me? Okay, so Ghana's situation is beginning to look like the situation where people build wealth and leave it for their children, and then the children aren't able to manage the wealth. Hence, we can't see what the wealth is doing in their lives. So in recent years and decades, Ghana has faced recurring crises over the decades, marked by foreign exchange shortages and reliance on foreign financial assistance. So Ghana being rich in gold and poor in liquidity, I think, is mainly caused by the macroeconomic framework or architecture. So this architecture is in such a way that gold is not recognized until it is sold or pledged externally. So this means that they don't, how will I say, they don't see gold as important unless it is sold. And then the Bank of Ghana, which is the central bank, also focuses on exchange rate, credibility, and price stability. And then in such an economy, I think most of us are Ghanaian here. And if you are not Ghanaian, you live in Ghana. And then by now you have observed that we import everything, even sanitary pads. The last time in this same class, I learned that we import vegetables like tomatoes, carrots, and etc. So in this type of economy, how can we buy those things how can we export those things? We have to gain foreign exchange. And how can we gain the foreign exchange? By selling. And what do we sell? Our gold. So that is how the macroeconomic framework has become. It looks like all the time we have to sell our gold to get foreign exchange to stabilize the economy, which doesn't have to be like that. So that is what I agree on.
Thank you. We'll give it to, the one in Thai. Yes. And then we come, okay, there are two hands at the back there. Yeah, this lady, her hand has been out for long. Yeah, I won't forget you, okay? We'll come there. The one in Thai, do you have it? Okay, let's go.
Okay,
Come here.
so my name is Courage Somi Pobidan, level 200. And of course, Ghana is rich in gold, but that gold is not usable cash. We can talk about good governance in order to liquidify the gold. We can also talk about formalization and then tax. We can also talk about value addition, but perspectively, one way I think Ghana can break from this cycle of rich in gold but poor in liquidity is diversification, which no one has mentioned. Economic diversification is when we deliberately spread economic activities and then export earnings across more sectors, products and markets.
Go on.
Across more sectors, products, and then markets, so that the economy doesn't just rise or fall when a few commodities become volatile. So diversification for a resource-rich country like Ghana is not optional. It is a primary defense against shocks. Thank you.
Thank you. We take our friend here. And we'll go to the back there, go and take our lady there. Her hand has been up for a long time. Let's go.
Hello, good afternoon. Please, my name is Louise. All right, so I think the problem is not really asking whether like the country should extract more gold or process more gold or like part of what we've said. But then even if we get the gold or we take it out, what we use the income from after selling it, I think that's what matters. Because if we still find ways to process it more, but our mentality as to how we spend it is the same, we won't go anywhere. So because if we look at countries like Norway, their oils, when they sell it, the money is in a fund that they invest in it. So they don't even have to come and spend it on the country. Only a small portion of it is spent in the country. The rest is invested in stocks, companies, real estate. So if the mentality that we have as a country is still the same, we go and we extract more, we process more, and the money comes in, the politicians or everybody uses for unnecessary things will still end up the same. Thank you.
Okay. Well, let me also say that Ghana too, we have a fund. It's called Heritage. Whilst you take the microphone to the lady at the back, the one in blue, let me make a point here that Ghana too, we have a fund called Heritage Fund and Stabilization Fund. And a part of the oil revenue is deposited into those funds. The last time I checked, it was about $1.2 billion in the Heritage Fund, something we have saved for the future generation. Who that future is, we don't know. And we don't know when we are going to use that money. It's there, it's being saved. The unfortunate part is that the money is not saved in Ghana, it's saved on the international market. And then we earn little interest on it. Sometimes negative interest on it. Yes. That's the sad part of it. Let's go, my dear.
My name is Anita, and I have two questions. So the first one is, if we have over $1.5 trillion in gold assets, but we are only recording a GDP of $82 billion, are we actually suffering from economic crisis, or we are suffering from accounting crisis? And the second question is, if a Ghanaian citizen owns a land title worth $1 million and can walk into a commercial bank and get a loan, and comparing it to the country, if we owe land titles, let's say the proven reserves worth $1.5 trillion in gold, why must we go to IMF to borrow about $3 billion? Why is our national asset not treated like a citizen going for a loan? So that's my
Is that question for me?
Yes.
Well, first of all, we've talked about the accounting issue. Even the economic problem is there because and this has been an argument between my friend and I, when the mining companies come to the country, they don't even value the gold underground unless it is extracted. And I'm of the view that some amount of value must be placed in the gold in the ground. It is never zero. So whether accounting or economic, the gold in the ground is never zero. But so far, we have been trained to think that the gold in the ground is zero until it is extracted. And I disagree. Your other point on the IMF, if you have these gold in our soil, why do you go to the IMF? It's a question of urgent liquidity. By the way, the IMF program is not about the money, not only about the money. In any case, the money is given to us in tranches, in installments. So your economy is in difficulty, you are running out of reserves. So it's not really about monetary issues, it's about reforms, structural reforms. The IMF came to Ghana and it had its own accompanying, benefits. Aside the $3 billion, the World Bank has come on board with us. Investors are now doing business with us, and so on and so forth. So it's the whole of the reforms. In recent times, we have been increasing utility tariffs. It's all on IMF conditionalities that Ghanaians are not paying the right tariff to ECG. And I believe that is true. We should be paying the right price. But paying the tariff alone is not enough to address the deficiencies in electricity generation. I hope I answered your question. All right. Our lady here, then we come to our gentleman here, then we end with the two hands here. All right.
I'm Janet Mwame Abisa. So we cannot blame just the politicians, but we also have to look at the risk involved in using our national assets for liquidity stabilizations. And we also have to ask ourselves certain questions like, in using our gold for liquidity, are we going to be free from financial aid dependence? Will it reduce our currency depreciation, and how it will affect we the citizens? We also know that gold is not enough to measure our country's wealth. So we can invest in other human capital, infrastructure, and productive economic activities to generate liquidity for the country. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you. We come to our gentleman here. And then we take the last two at the back, then we can close. I like the enthusiasms. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
my name is Joseph, a level 200 student. And my point is, we can also look at turning Ghana into a major gold trading hub, like the gold ball like this. And if they roll out a transparent daily updating price that will incentivize local small-scale miners that are likely to smuggle the gold outside, and neighboring countries that have a gold and they are mining in their countries, it will motivate them to bring their gold to Ghana, so that Ghana will become like a global marketplace. So that you see, sometimes the international market fluctuation prices can affect Ghana.
if you have the gold and the international market is not favoring you, you see that it will end up, and then at the end of the day, what you are expecting to gain from the foreign exchange, you wouldn't meet it to finance your developmental projects. So my point is looking at Ghana turning into a major gold marketing center. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We take the last two from the back there. Yeah, those two hands. Mark them. We are not going anywhere again. Those two hands. There's another lecture here, so we have to vacate the place.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Richard Osu Achiao, a level 200 student. A great economist once said, God has given us every reason to be rich, yet we have given him every reason to be poor. There are many problems concerning the mineral sector. Some of these include poor leadership, smuggling and leaking, poor revenue capture, poor refining capacity, etc., etc. I would cover two main aspects, and I believe is going to cover the rest. Number one is the poor leadership. This affects the gold sector in a way that it's politically inclined. We make political appointments to precisely important positions, and we appoint these people from time to time. So every 4 years or 8 years, we appoint another person to go and secure that portfolio. We don't check if that person is fit or not fit for that position. So currently we have someone with a sports background leading another sector which he or she doesn't have any knowledge about. That is one of the problems facing our gold sector. Again, we have poor refining capacity. If you look at countries like UAE and Switzerland, they refine most of Africa's gold. Meanwhile, Switzerland and UAE has never extracted gold. These countries have never extracted gold ever. Expanding these gold refining capacities like Royal Ghana Refinery, which was commissioned in 2024 by the then Vice President, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, would help Ghana with its gold reserves and etc. But the devastating part is that Ghana only had 20%, while the that is the private sector, had 80% of the gold refinery.
Okay, thank you. That's one. Last bite. There's another class waiting for us to vacate. Yes.
My name is Desmond, level 300 student. So in as much as we are thinking about how we can get benefits in terms of liquidity after trading our good, we should think of how we can think of how we can modify our ways of extracting the gold from our natural sources, because we can looking at our water bodies, our forests and others, they are being depleted right now, and we can get all the benefits we can think of in terms of liquidity after trading our gold, but all these benefits would have to come back, or we have to use all these benefits in cleaning up the mess after the extraction. Thank you.
Thank you all. This QR code is for you to scan. Just take your phone now and scan and follow us on our socials. Whilst you are scanning, I want to say a big thank you. You've done so well. Look into this camera and clap for yourselves and say bye-bye. Okay, so scan and let's vacate the auditorium. Thank you.